knockers.
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
Welcome to Kermode Uncut. You'll know that earlier on this week, Gene Wilder died at the age of 83, and tributes have been pouring in from comedians and filmmakers saying what an extraordinary talent he was. I just wanted to add a personal note because Gene Wilder was very important to me when I was a young film goer. The first AA certificate film I ever saw was Blazing Saddles, directed by Mel Brooks, with whom Gene Wilder made a series of films, the producers, and of course Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein. I remember going to see the film at the Hendon Odeon, and I was terrified I wasn't going to be able to get in. You had to be 14, I was only 12. So in order to get into the screening, I had dressed up in what I considered to be a grown-up fashion, meaning I wore a cravat. Like, quite genuinely, I put on a cravat in order to get into the cinema. And I put newspapers in my shoes to make me seem slightly taller. It just made me sort of walk with a strange limp. And amazingly, the people at the cinema took one look at me and went, yeah, fine, let me in. And then I sat there watching this AA certificate film and laughing my head off. I went in thinking, oh, this is going to be, exciting and grown up and adult. And about 5 seconds after the film had started, I forgot all that and was just swept along with the lovely comedy of the film. I mean, yes, people remember the cowboy farting scenes, but there is so much more going on in that film than that.
Are we awake?
We're not sure. Are we black?
Yes, we are.
Then we're awake.
Well, if you're the kid, then show me something.
Oh, well, maybe a couple of years ago I could have shown you something, but today, look at that.
Steady as a rock.
Yeah, but I shoot with this hand.
You've got to remember that these are just simple farmers. These are people of the land. The common clay of the New West. You know. Morons.
Then later on, I saw Young Frankenstein. And Young Frankenstein became one of my favourite films of all time. When I was writing a book recently with Simon Mayo, with whom I present the Radio 5 live film show, one of the things that Simon and I agreed on immediately was that Young Frankenstein was one of the most enduringly funny films we'd ever seen.
Igor, would you give me a hand with the bags?
Certainly. You take the blonde and I'll take the one in the taven.
We ended up going out on tour and doing some sort of, on-stage things. And one of the things that we did in those on-stage presentations was to show a clip from Young Frankenstein, and it never failed to bring the house down. That scene always worked. People loved it. It made them laugh. Now, the fact of the matter is that it's often been said that I have a tin ear for comedy. The amount of times I've reviewed modern comedy films, which I've said, it just hasn't made me laugh. It hasn't passed my 6 laughs test. And yet, the work of Gene Wilder in general, and Young Frankenstein in particular, never fails to make me laugh. I've watched it a couple of times every year for as long as I can remember. Whenever I feel down, whenever I feel blue, whenever I need to be uplifted, I can just watch Young Frankenstein and it always works. It never fails to put a smile on my face. For that, Gene Wilder, thank you very much.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes, or cutaway coat, perfect fits. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying mighty hard to look like Gary Cooper. Come, let's mix where Rockefellers walk with sticks or umbrellas in their midst.